Hello everyone, welcome back to Shadowrun Returns. This is a character guide. I'm Nordograph. I'll show you how to choose your character. I'll explain a bit about every race, about every class, about what skill does, since I didn't do that in my video. As you can see here, these are the humans. They start with more trick to karma, which is kind of like skill points that you distribute. Their stats are pretty even all around. It's a pretty good all-around character. He'll make pretty much a good anything, but he won't excel at anything. The Elves make pretty good shamans thanks to their high charisma. I think it's the highest you can get. They also get a lot of etiquettes, which I'll explain later what it is. They get also the highest quickness, which in turn makes your aim a lot better. The dwarves have +1 to willpower, and their stats are pretty good considering. They're pretty average except for body, willpower, and strength, which are high. They make good physical adapts thanks to their willpower and body stat. They also make good melee-based straight samurais if you so want. But Orcs excel more at being a straight samurai. As you can see, they got +1 to body. They got a lot of strength, a lot of body, which is health. They don't make very good physical adapts, mostly because their willpower is maxed at 9. And they also have pretty low intelligence and charisma, since it's 8 is the max that you can get. So they don't make anything really that good when you consider the other classes, except for Street Samurai. They excel at Street Samurai. They make average at everything else, probably except shamans and Deckers, since their charisma intelligence is so low. Trolls, on the other hand, make amazing Street Samurai thanks to their high body, which is the highest in the game. Strength, which also is the highest in the game. Though they can make a good physical adapt, I guess, if you're smart about it. But they make horrible Deckers and Shamans. As you can see, their charisma and intelligence is 6. I want to point out, having prejudice against them has led people to assume trolls have lowered intelligence, but in reality there is no proof of this. No? That's the lowest intelligence in the game. Really? Huh. Anyway, let's talk about the classes. Street Samurais. Their key attributes is body, strength, or quickness. Well, quickness is mostly shooting guns, so you can either go a melee-based or a shooting-based character. They are good at close or range combat, throwing weapons, which are grenades, and dodge. They can specialize in any weapon. Mages. I didn't play a mage. I don't know much about the mages. The key attribute is willpower. I'll explain more about the classes when we are actually looking at the skills. Their key skill is spellcasting. They are pretty good if you have enough. You probably won't want to use cyber anything because it lowers your essence and in turns will make the cooldown of your spells take longer. But if you like magic, they're good. But if you want to put cyber stuff, it's probably best that you don't pick a mage, because it will make the cooldown of your magics a lot longer. The Deckers are basically hackers. Rhymed. Hackers. And, well, their key attribute is intelligence, so as I said, pretty much anyone will make a good Decker except for Orcs and Trolls. Their kill skill is stacking, which allows you to get into Matrix, and they have a specialization of expert system, which is basically when you're in the Matrix, you can, like, open quotes, summon special programs, close quotes, that help you on the system, so you're not just, just your avatar in the system. Shamans can summon special spirits from elements in the either from special artifacts you find and or or you can buy also, I think, and you can also get. You can also summon from special things in the levels. You see some of those when I'm playing the game, because I usually tend to have a shaman with me. And it'll be more explained later. As you can see, he also has a lot of buffs that, like haste, and slow, and things like that. He also has a lot of those. So, and he also heals, which is the mage. Actually, I think it's the mage that heals. I don't remember so well, but anyway, they're pretty good. They make either good healers or buffers or whatever. They also summon, which is really good. The Rigger, they basically are kind of like summoners but with robots. Their main attribute is intelligence, so they're kind of like deckers that don't really specialize in hacking. You can get a bunch of, you can buy drones and you can fix drones. That's pretty much it. There's not really a big secret to them. Let's play more about them later also. And physical adepts, their key attributes are body strength and willpower. They're basically monks. If you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, they're basically monks. They are good with melee combat, especially unarmed combat. And as you can see, dwarves make the best physical adepts. And their key skill is chi casting. But let's go to here. Let's continue, I'll show you guys a bit about this. Body determines resistance to physical damage, increases chance to take reduced damage from attacks. For every point of body, hit points increase by 10. So every point of body, hit points will increase by 10. As you can see, these are the limits. For humans and elves, it's 9, 11 is for dwarves, 14 for orcs, and trolls can get the highest amount of health out of everyone. And quickness is used to calculate the chance to hit in ranged combat. It reduces the chance to be hit by enemy physical attacks. As you can see, this is the max for trolls, max for humans, dwarves and orcs, the maximum for elves, which are the best with quickness. Ranged combat used to calculate the chance to hit with ranged weapons. As you can see, the elves have the best out of all of them, since they can get to 11, it goes all the way up to 11, and if you put 3 points in it, you get an additional weapon slot. You normally can carry only 2, if I'm not mistaken. You can carry 3 if you have 3 ranged combat, which I think pretty much everyone does, except for the melee-based characters. And with 4 you get Overwatch. If you ever played XCOM, you probably know what Overwatch is. It's basically you waste a turn to set yourself up, so if anyone moves in your line of sight, they'll get shot. The pistol is the one I'll be using throughout the LP. I think it's probably the best for me. With 1 point, you get aim shot, which increases the hit chance and has a cooldown of 3 rounds. The critical damage percentage will be visible if you have 2 points. This is the reason why I like pistols. Auto reload. Usually, if you have any other guns, you have to. If you run out of ammo, you have to waste a turn reloading. So it's always good to carry more than one weapon. If you're using any other weapon, because that way you don't have to waste a turn reloading if there's an enemy right in your face. But with a pistol, that's not really a problem, so see why I like to carry around pistols. That increases the chance to hit by 20% and costs 1 AP, which is really good, I'd say. Double tap, which is 2 attacks on a single target, which increased with increased critical hit chance. Chain shot, which attracts 3 different targets in a single attack. This is the maximum for trolls, 8. The disarm, which is actually pretty good if you're facing enemies with shotguns, because shotguns will hurt so much. So if you're facing enemies with shotguns, it's a pretty good choice to use the disarm button. And it's the maximum for humans, dwarves and orcs. And 11 maximum for elves. This, as you can see, the elves got the best deal, since it will increase the chance for greater than normal damage, which is basically critting. If you have more, it crits more. SMGs, with 1 point you get Spray and Pray, which will have lower accuracy, if I'm not mistaken, 15%. I'm not quite sure. Consumes more ammo and hits adjacent targets. The critical damage percentage is visible. This is the same for most weapons. All of them, actually. 3, you get an aim shot, which is basically the same as the level 1 pistol. It increases the hit chance by 10, cooldown 3 rounds. And basically that's pretty much it. SMGs are good because they can do a lot of damage. They're pretty much a DPS weapon. This is the max for everyone, as you can see. The other levels don't really give pretty much of anything, really. The shotguns are actually kinda good, but they're pretty shit from far away, so it's always good to have a backup weapon that can hit from far away, like pistols or rifles. The shotgun, the first level would be kneecap, which does AP damage, basically action point damage, and -3 AP damage, and can hit multiple targets, which is actually pretty good if you're facing a lot of enemies and they're kind of far away. They'll take 1 AP point to get to you in order to hit you. The same with other weapons. Wide load is a reduced critical chance, has higher spread, so it means it can hit more characters around the enemy you're shooting. This is the maximum for everyone, as always. The rifle, pretty much the same. Aim shot, critical damage percent visible burst fire. It allows you to. It basically is 2 shots. It will do 2 different damages. So let's say the damage of the weapon is 6, so it will be 6 and 6 damage instead of the normal 1 shot. But also it uses more ammo, and the weapon has to allow for that. Full auto available. That's actually, if I'm not mistaken, 5 different damages. And I think the accuracy is lower too. I might have been mistaken there. But it also uses 3 action points. This one uses 2 if I'm not mistaken, and wastes a lot of ammo. Deadeye, the same for the pistol. Double tap, the same for the pistol. Headshot, it's actually increases the chances of critical hit and reduces accuracy, which is actually pretty good, but comes way late in the tree. Dodge helps to reduce the chance to be hit by physical attacks. Honestly, I got through the game with just 1 dodge, mostly because not a lot of enemies use physical attacks, but it doesn't really give anything except the dodge chance. So if you want, you can get it if you feel like you're gonna need it, but I didn't, and I'm on normal. Maybe you need more on higher difficulties. Strength is used to calculate the hit chance with melee or throwing weapons. Also determines how far a grenade can be thrown. So close combat is the main component used to calculate chance to hit with melee weapons and unarmed combat. Increasing this skill unlocks special abilities. Their special abilities are additional weapon slot, Overwatch, which I don't get how Overwatch can be used with a melee weapon, but whatever. Actually, melee weapons aren't that good in this game, because a lot of the enemies use guns, so you have to get up close and personal. And if you get up close and personal with a guy with a shotgun, you're gonna have a bad time. Defense bonus, you gain a defense bonus to all non-magical close combat attacks. Maximum for elves, dwarves and orcs, trolls, also humans here. Okay, the melee weapon increases the chance for greater than normal damage, same with other weapons, but with melee attacks. Melee attacks and increases the skill and unlocks special abilities. Trust increases HP damage and -15 to hit. Level 2 is the same. That's every one, as I've been saying. Pommel Strike only does AP damage, is pretty good, but the enemy will be in your face, so if you only do 1 AP damage, he'll still attack you, or he'll go for someone else maybe. Cliff can strike multiple targets in range, which is actually pretty good. And Zarm, which is also good, which might force the guy to go on hand-to-hand combat, which might be good, but then it's good for the physical adepts because they have a skill that lets you run really fast, go greater distances. Unarmed combat is Wound, which increases damage by 1. It's the same for everything, putting points into this, except it's just your fists, no melee weapons. Critical damage. The roundhouse kick can strike multiple targets in range. It's basically the same, but with fists. Same as melee weapons, but with fists, as you can see. Throwing weapons is just the chance to hit a target with a thrown grenade. Basically, that's all it is. Intelligence is using attacking or rigging. It calculates your chance to hit when you're in the matrix, or the chance to hit from your drones. It will also reduce the chance that you're hit by enemy programs in the matrix. Biotech it's basically when you get a med kit, it restores more health, basically. Decking will allow you to use more advanced decking hardware, which will allow you to get more programs into the matrix, allows you to also get more ESPs, expert systems. It also lets you mark targets, which increases the chance to hit on the enemy you marked. As you can see, the trolls can't even get the less hardware, so they're not really good deckers. ESP control will increase the power of the decker's expert systems in the matrix. That's basically it. They will do more damage, they'll hit more, things like that. The rigger, the drone control, it allows the riggers to equip better drones, basically. As you can see, you can equip better drones as it goes. Also gives you ability to get two drones if you put 4 points into it. Drone combat adds abilities and bonuses to rigger drones. So 1 point gives armor, 2 points gives accuracy, 3 points gives dodge, 4 points HP damage, 5 points more armor, 6 points gives AP, drone accuracy is 7, 8 more dodge, 9 more AP. Willpower is the chance to hit with magical attacks, so it's good for mages and the shamans. It also reduces the chance to be hit by magical attacks. Honestly, it's not really worth it to reduce the magical attack chance. Magical attacks don't give that much damage, and you can usually kill mages pretty quickly before they do any damage, so it's not that much of a problem. So unless you're a magic specialized character, there's no reason to put points into this. And it doesn't give any bonuses, except for when you're doing spellcasting. The main component to calculate the chance to hit with certain spells, and increase the skill. Increasing the skill also unlocks special abilities. You can get more spells in your spell book with level 2. With level 3, the lane lines will be invisible, which you can see during they'll be flashing. You can actually see them in the tutorial if you use the mage character. You can increase your spellbook slot with 4, same with 6, 7. The ley lines will be visible through Fog of War, which is the part where you can see. If you ever played on RTS, you know what I'm talking about. As you can see, dwarves make the best mages and shamans. Chi casting is the main component to calculate the chance to hit with adept powers, basically physical adepts. And as you can see, level 1 you can equip Killer Hands, level 2 you can equip Magic Resistance, and we will increase your spellbook slot. Level 3 will equip Mana Fixed, and you get Chi Focus, which is 2 attacks on a single target with a melee weapon. 4 you can equip Stride, or you get a spellbook slot. These are basic magics that you can use, or special attacks. 5 you can equip Counter Strike. 6 Magic Resistance 2. 7 Quick Strike. 8 Mystic Armor. 9 Bane Resistance. 10 Magic Resistance 3. And 11 is the maximum for dwarves. Charisma is just a chance to control spirits, so it's really good for shamans. Shamans will probably need a bit of willpower to actually hit with their magics. They might benefit a bit from spell casting, but charisma are their bread and butter. It increases the chance to hit with conjuring spells and add etiquettes. So at level 2 you got an etiquette, 4 you got an etiquette. I'll show you the etiquettes here, explain a bit about them. It's basically in social situations you can talk people into doing stuff, into doing things or overlook something. There's corporate, which basically talk with corporate people. Security, which is usually police. Security is probably the one that comes up the most during the adventure, if I were to say, so if you only get 1 point I say put in security. Gang comes up a bit in the beginning, not so much in the end. Socialite only appears I think 1 time in the end, I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that this is just that. So it's not really that good. Shadowrunner will, well, basically the ability to talk to Shadowrunner. It comes up once or twice during the adventure, not really good to get. Street comes up a few times during the adventure, although security is way better than getting street. Academic, again, once or twice in the adventure should allow you to get a bit more money in some quests. It basically comes down to this, but money isn't really a problem during the game. So if you want to get academic, I'd say don't, but if you want, go ahead. It comes up a few times during the quests. Okay, that's the etiquette, and putting points just, as you see, gives etiquette. Spirit summoning is the ability to summon spirits, and the higher the skill, the more powerful the summon a spirit. So, if you have 1 point, you can see the points which are available for you to summon spirits. Level 2, you can get more spells. The totem choice will be available, which basically gives a bit of some boost to spellcasting. Spellbook slot. With level 5 you can summon 2 spirits from the same summoning point. Level 6 you can increase the spellbook slot. You don't actually have to get this if you want to summon spirits. There are a few artifacts you can find or buy that allows you to summon spirits. But it's good because that way you don't rely on them to summon spirits, which is good. The rest is just basically the restrictions. Spirit control. Just basically, if you can set a certain number of AP for a certain spirit, and the higher the AP you set him to, the higher his chance to escape. So the spirit control just makes it harder for them to escape. It's pretty basic. In conjuring is the main spell skill for shamans. You don't have to actually get willpower with a shaman, although I think it might be good because since the shaman spells are mostly buffs. But if you so need, here it is. It calculates the chance to hit with conjuring spells, and you can equip certain barriers, increases spellbook and so forth. Also, when you're buying magic, your level is taken into account for both spellcasting, chi casting, and actually chi casting no, but spellcasting and conjuring. When you're buying spells, your level is taken into account. That's pretty much it. I hope this helped you choose your class. If it didn't, I'm sorry. Just leave a comment down below. I could probably answer some stuff. That's it for now. I'll see you guys back at the video if you came from my video, or if you stumble upon this, welcome, whatever. See you guys then on the flip side. Goodbye.